Alex, don't you think you should get another review up? I mean, it's been like a while since you've done one. I mean, you said you were gonna do Going Postal a while ago, and you still haven't done it yet. Oh, yeah, for sure, Dom. I will definitely do that. I have like a bunch of essays. There's a lot to do, so I'm a bit stressed. I will do the Going Postal review, no problem. Pretty sure you're watching Doctor Who right now instead of doing any of those things. I am totally not. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I'll do a review. I can't do Going Postal. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about Discworld. I don't know anything about Terry Pratchett. If I do it, I will go postal. Yeah. Sorry, why are we friends? Fine. You don't want to do Going Postal, don't do Going Postal. Do whatever you want to do, just do something. Okay. Okay, that's what you want to do. Go ahead. Oh, yay. Okay, this week's review, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Now, besides Anne of Green Gables and Harry Potter, Chronicles of Narnia is the series of my childhood. All of those books have a very special place in my heart. A lot of it is nostalgia, but another part of it is it's a good story. At the forefront of that is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It is a lot of people's favorite book of the series, and I wish I could be edgy and say that, I don't know, Horse and His Boy is my favorite, but I had to go with the classics, and that's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The basic plot of the story is that the four Pevensey children are sent into the country during the war, and while they're there, they discover a magical land called Narnia through a magic wardrobe. In the world of Narnia, the White Witch, who is evil, is ruling over Narnia, and everybody's miserable, and she goes around killing people or turning them into stone, and so it's up to the four Pevensey children to make a stand against her and free Narnia. At which point a magical lion named Aslan comes and helps them to defeat the White Witch and to restore peace to Narnia, and establishes them as the kings and queens of Narnia after he leaves. The four children are made up of Lucy, the youngest, who is the first person to discover Narnia through the wardrobe, and the other children don't believe her at first. The second youngest is Edmund, who is the second person to go into Narnia. While he's there, he meets the White Witch and gets tempted by these Turkish delight candies and ends up betraying his family. Eventually he learns from his mistake. Then there's Susan, who's the second oldest. I would say that in general she probably gets the least amount of time spent on her character. Out of the two sisters, she's said to be the prettier one, and when she grows up she becomes this queen of Narnia, very regal and beautiful, and a lot of people want to marry her, so that's sort of who her character is. The oldest is Peter, and he becomes the High King of Narnia at the end of the book. Being the oldest, he has a lot of responsibilities put on him, especially in Narnia. In general, the rest of the children look up to him for his decision-making, and he keeps the band together in a lot of ways. Now, part of the reason why I love this series, and especially the first book, is that it establishes this magical world that you can just envision in your head. And not only that, but you care about what happens to Narnia. The people who live there, like the beavers, the centaurs, the people who are standing up to the White Witch, you care about what happens to them. It's not only the world or the citizens of it, but it's also about the battle between the White Witch and Aslan. One represents evil so clearly, and the other represents good. And it's fascinating to read about the two going into combat against one another and seeing what happens. But then, of course, we get into the whole Christian allegory, which I completely ignored when I was a kid. I did not see it at all until I was older and knew how to recognize it. Basically, you have your typical devil, the White Witch. Then you have Aslan, the Christ-like figure who sacrifices himself on behalf of the sinner, Edmund, who was tempted by Turkish delight, aka sin. Now, when I was a kid, I did not see this at all. I just thought it was a really good story, which it is. It just has a lot of Christian symbolism and parallels between Jesus Christ and Aslan and Edmund and the sinners of the world. But in the end, it's It's very enjoyable, and I want to go to Narnia. I want to find a wardrobe and open it and find Narnia in the wardrobe. And that's what makes reading the book so fun. So anyway, that's pretty much it for my review. That's it. Pretty much said all I wanted to say. I'm proud of you. You got through this entire review without, without fangirling was, I think, the type. You didn't completely gush about that specific character. No, I didn't. I completely avoided it. But I don't know if this review has been interesting enough. I think we might have to pull out the big guns and make you fangirl. It's embarrassing. Sorry. Gotta do this. Edmund. Edmund is one of the best characters in literature. I'm sorry, he is amazing. He starts off a jerk. He betrays his family to the White Witch for some candy. He gets a whole bunch of character development, and you don't even have to go further along in the series to know that, although there's a lot of examples later on. But even in the final battle of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, he is so badass that he breaks the witch's wand so that she can't turn anyone else into stone, and that essentially wins the battle for them. And he's like 12 years old. Yeah, exactly, he's 12 years old. You shouldn't have, like, a crush on a kid who's 12 years old. That's just weird. I don't have a crush on him, I swear. I did when I was little. Now, I would wait a couple of years, and then. He's a fictional character, Alex. It's just weird. Well, I don't care. He's awesome. He's the most interesting of the Pevensey children, bar none. Psh, Lucy all the way. Anyway, I would give the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe 5 out of 5 Mr. Tumnuses. Tom, I look forward to your next review, which will be up soon, and hopefully we'll get back into the routine of doing this. And since I said who my favorite character was from the series, maybe people could comment, say if they agree with me or disagree with me, if they have a different favorite character.